Hi, I'm Lou,
Hi, John.
talking to you from the UK. We do these inputs regularly. We always say this because it is relevant. They are not scripted.
Yep.
Deliberately, it's just us being us and talking to you. And I'm really glad that quite a lot of people have looked at the song that we posted
Yeah.
this week. We posted it when I was really going through it, living with a drinker. Songs that really kind of made me feel inspired and encouraged me were really helpful. And so the reason we posted the song is I think people with faith have a really positive energy. They kind of believe in what they're saying, and so it really comes across. And so just to have a song that you just feel uplifts you. I've been listening to it actually every day because I think it's a really uplifting song. So
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, music can be very uplifting. Music really sets a mood, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. And if you could see our house here, John is a great lover of vinyl,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the shelves are absolutely full of vinyl records. It came with the marriage.
Yeah, I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. I still think it's the best sound in the world, but however,
A lot of people really agree with you now. Anyway, the
Yeah, it's about time.
subject today, and we do try and keep these short, but the subject has got quite a lot to it, is if I come, why would I engage with the programme? And I think it might be just a really good idea to talk about that.
It's a very good question. Why should you engage with the program? One of the questions people might ask is, it's not me who's got the drink problem, therefore why should I sort of, go on a program? And again, good question. And but the answer is that yes, actually, this problem is affecting you both. It's not his or her problem. It's both of your problem. And that's the issue. And that's why we put together this program to something that can help you.
Yeah, and we do have parents who've got children that are struggling with alcohol. We've got children whose parents are struggling with alcohol. And generally you can apply quite a lot of the programme, and it's in 3 different sections. And the first section is really based around, I suppose, the word stop, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about, there's lots of things that you'll be doing which are trying to change the drinker. And you've probably been doing that for some years now. And the fact that you're here is a testimony to the fact it's not been working as well. But that's usual. That's the usual thing. I mean, none of us, I've said it before, that none of us are born knowing how to cope with a drinker.
Yeah. And you will be here probably hoping that we've got the magic fairy dust that will make it all better, which is really, really understandable.
Yep.
You're looking for solutions for them, for your drinker. But because and I've been here, I'm the one here, John, if you read up about us, as the one that has struggled with alcohol and had to get sober, and I'm the one that lived with an alcoholic for 29 years. And your entire focus, if you're not careful, is about handling this terrible situation and trying to think of a different strategy to the one that's just not worked, to get another strategy to try and stop it all from happening. So we understand you come with a different stop. You come with a stop him, stop her, stop my child from my mum from drinking. But what we say is, no, first of all, you stop. Stop what you're doing. Take a breath. And I say at this point, read the programme, because I spent 29 years trying to work out what didn't work. So I've done all that work for you. And there are lots of things that don't work. They should in a loving relationship, in any other setting, but they don't work. You say something about that. You're the...
Not only do they not work, sometimes they actually exacerbate the drinking. That is, they make it worse. There's a whole sort of section that we talk about, about the 4 Ps. And in that, I talk about the way it affected me as a drinker, and how it pushed all my guilt buttons, my shame buttons, and my anxiety buttons. And it just made me want to drink more. So it was having the opposite effect from what my wife at that time was trying to do. It just doesn't work, you know. I mean, if it worked, we'd say, yeah, carry on, do it, keep going. But it doesn't. That's the reason why we say just stop it. And the other thing it does is it makes you feel more and more and more frustrated and less powerful, because you're doing all this knowing it should work, and it doesn't. So it's frustrating. Yeah. It just increases your anxiety, increases your sort of feeling of powerlessness, and sometimes increases your depression.
So we take you by the hand, kind of emotionally, and get you to sit down and just to stop, to look around, to understand the journey and understand what is likely to help and what isn't. It is so important. So actually, we try to move you from stopping the drinking to stopping the drinking, if that makes sense. It does, if you think about it.
It kind of does, yeah.
Okay. So, so we support you through that progress. We talk about it. We tell you why, and then we come to the next bit, which is kind of start, isn't it?
Yeah. The next bit's about looking after yourself.
Yeah.
It's about self-care. It's about coming out of secrecy. About getting support round about you, about getting people that you can talk to, people that you can sort of get rid of your stress by either sharing with or, doing things with, or finding strategies. For some people, it might be going to the gym. For some people, it might be meditation. For some people, it might be prayer. For some people, it might be joining a choir. There's as many solutions out there as there are the number of you, because it's about finding something. We can't sort of say, yes, try this particular one, because that might work for some people, but it might not work for other people. But you've got a good idea of what works for you, or you can find a good idea of what works for you. But it's also about coming out of that isolation, and that's good for you. It's good for you. It brings the drinking out into the open as well, and that has an effect on the drinker as well.
So that's the next bit of the program. We call it program for want of a label, but one of the things I've said to John over and over again, people will get here absolutely exhausted. So you can do it at your own pace. We try to make it as kind of straightforward as possible. And then we get to the next stage, which is tackling the problem, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll find 3 tools in the website. One is called Love, and it's about how you approach your drinker. Very briefly, it's about letting the negative things happen, optimizing your time with them when they're sober, because my wife used to sort of spend my sober days telling me how bad it was, and which made me not have many sober days. I'm not blaming her for that. I'm just saying that's the way we did it, and it just exacerbated the drinking rather than helped it. One is value in your drinker. I mean, the very fact that you're here means that you actually probably still love them, and so value them. Why did you get together with this person in the first place? Why did you stay with this person? And starting to remember the good things, and then E is about encouraging the change. So that's one tool. And another one is what we call share. It's about looking at the drink where it actually is affecting you.
Tool, isn't it?
Yes, it's an assessment tool, but it's more than an assessment tool, because it gives you if you say to a drinker, if you say to any drinker, you drink too much, the first thing they'll do is say, no, I don't, because that one drinks more than me, and that one drinks more than me. And so when you just argue about drinking, it's not a very productive argument. But when you start to say, when you drink, this happens. When you drink, that happens. When you drink, this is the effect. It becomes much, much more specific and much more difficult to argue against.
Yeah, and there's an intervention tool.
Yeah.
Again, we try to keep this quite short, so we won't really unpack them.
Yeah.
Make sure that you unpack them, though. Don't gather the little bits that, we really go into it, and we help you to understand why these things are important to approach.
Yeah.
Like for example, don't let him or her have the negative consequences of their drinking without actually letting us talk to you about that, because some of that can be really self-defeating if you don't understand the right way of doing it. So again, we really go into this so that you get. We're not coaching you to do something you won't understand. We want you to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it.
No, we take you by the hand in this one. You know, there's articles in there, there's audios in there, there's videos in there, there's workbooks and ebooks and all sorts of things in there that actually take you by the hand and say, this is what you should do. And then when you've done this, you do this, and then when you do that, you do that. You know, it's very much a how-to program.
It is, and you can do it at your own time, in your own pace. Now, we do understand, and the second video we're going to do, which we probably post, and then maybe a second part of it next week, is that you will come and you'll feel that you're in crisis. And we kind of really get that. And sometimes you are in complete crisis. And so we understand you might sit there and think, well, I can't do that because it's, you know, this is absolutely awful. I need to do something now.
Yeah.
You actually will find, if you put the program into place, that feeling of panic will begin to subside. So we still encourage you to do it. But we understand there's a hurdle to get through. To be able to take that breath and sit down. So we're going to do a second video today on crisis, just the basic things, and then we'll maybe unpack it if we don't get it all in next week. So get on the forum, you know, talk to each other.
Well, first of all, if you're not a member, join, come. It's free.
Yes.
You know, what have you got to lose except your problems?
Yes, and we approach it from 2 points of view. He was a drunk, I've lived with a drunk, and it's been really interesting listening to John, getting into his head and working out what's going on in him. And it is such a secret weapon to be able to do this program when you can pick the brains of someone who isn't drinking now, but can remember what it feels like to be a drunk. So we do approach it from these two angles. And the reason why we do ers and ahs in this video really is we want to be accessible. This is not a program we put out there and walked away from. We are here. You know, you are our community. You matter to us. We want you to come and join us. And so we do get involved. Every week we post a video. We know what's happening on the forum. We are part of this community and heading it up. So it's not a sterile thing. We are living people wanting to help you because we know that you are a living person who needs help.
If we weren't, we'd certainly have, these would not be the models that we would put on the videos, we can assure you.
No.
You know, this is us.
Yeah, this is us.
Warts and all, as they say.
Yeah.
And as and ums as well.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So come and join us. And as you've been eternally put off by this video, we'd love you. It's free, and you know, it's there for you to use. Come and be helped. Don't be alone anymore.
There's no need.
No.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.